Hi, welcome back. This is another episode of our Who Is series today with Matt Whitfield. My name is Devin Knight, and Matt is actually one of our product managers here at Pragmatic Works. So he's one of our developers. He's in town this week for kind of a special get-together we have for the developers, doing a lot of planning for the year for our products. And we thought it'd be great for you guys to hear from him and understand a little bit about his job and what he's doing with the products. So Matt is actually from the United Kingdom. From where, Matt?
It's from a little village in the south of the United Kingdom. It's about the size of a Walmart.
Very nice, very nice. Everyone can relate to a Walmart at least. So Matt, tell them a little bit about what you do, which products that you focus in on, and kind of what's going on with the products going on right now.
Okay, so what I do is generally look after the products, and I guess there are some that are kind of more my babies. That's Doc Express, Legitest, and DBA Express.
Okay.
But really what we're trying to do as a team is make sure that everyone plays all roles in the team.
Right.
So, we're getting away from people having one product that they look after, and we're all trying to focus in on making all the products better and, spread that quality around.
Yeah, so you came to us. Well, why don't you tell the story? How did you come to us? And I know you had your own software company originally.
Yeah.
And
so I came to Pragmatic Works because a guy from Pragmatic Works hit me up on LinkedIn. And I'd been running a software company called Atlantis Interactive. And the software development part I had no problem with. That was great. But I realized that the marketing part was not really my bag. And so they said, we'd quite like to get this product suite. Can we purchase it from you? Can we find some way to support it long term? And I said, well, I'm open to offers, and that's how the story started. And that was, getting on for 4.5 years ago.
Wow, has it been that long now?
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard. So Matt obviously is in UK, so it feels, I don't know how you feel, but it's a bit disconnected. I think do you work United States hours oftentimes, or how do you manage that?
I work UK hours typically.
Okay.
But, if I have some stuff to do in the morning, which means that I work later and line up with your hours more, then that's just a positive thing, really.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. So for those that don't know, so a lot of people that watch this may come to Pragmatic Works more for consulting services or for training, which I cover. Can you tell them a little bit about the products that you do focus in on, and tell them what they do in basics and as summarization as you can anyways.
Okay. So I guess the products all have the focus of making BI easier, better, more testable, more provable. So Doc Express really takes the metadata from across your stack. It does SQL Server, does IS, RS, and AS, and we scan all of those sources, and we can produce documents from those, and you can also do lineage. So that's the really important part of Doc Express, is being able to say, okay, for the data in this table, where did that come from? Where does it go? Who consumes it? If I change this data, what am I going to need to change? DBA Express is focused more on the database side of things. So we do data synchronization, we do schema synchronization, and exploring. So we have a couple of products called the Serve products, which allow you to go through schema and navigate the dependencies there, and also with data, so you can find related data in one table, related data in the next table.
It gives you the ability to kind of drill and go for, I love that. That's awesome. There you go. So, and then what was the...
Legitest is the last one, which is basically... It's a widely adopted practice in coding that we write tests for our software. We want to know that when we change something, did we break something else?
Right.
Is our change okay? So that's not something that's commonly done in the data space.
Right.
Nobody says, did I change my ETL and break something? They just said, I changed my ETL. I tested it and the data looked okay. What we want to do is make that a bit more serious, and it enables you to produce repeatable tests that are generated in C#. You can run them on your integration server, and it makes that process a lot easier.
Very cool.
And we dog food that as well. So as we're doing work on our internal systems, we write Legitest tests for them, and then we know that we've got that safety net, so that if we change something, we're good to go.
I shared in another interview how Tim Mulick, one of our executives, actually uses it himself to be able to test data movement through order processing, our commissions, I should say. So yeah, we definitely use our own products. So we try and make a habit of that to make sure that we know what we do here. So
we do.
So let me ask you this: you've been a part of a lot of software development from the ground up. Even Doc Express was a complete rewrite that you did. Legitest was from the ground up, and the other software was actually originated from you as well. So if you could, what are some of the tips you could give to someone that maybe is brand new to software development? What are some of the things that really help you get going with a product, and then kicking it off, and then going forward to actually developing it into a more finely tuned piece of software?
I think the biggest thing that I could say is don't be afraid of failure. Because you're going to write some software that's going to suck. And even now, if I look back at code I wrote 2 years ago or 4 years ago or 6 years ago, I look back at it and think, you know what, I could have done that better. You're always going to be learning. So don't be afraid to give things a go and effectively fail your way to success.
Oh, I like that. So I have some silly questions for you. I've warned you there were some silly questions.
You have.
Haley, our support manager, generated some of these, and then I found some as well. But a lot of people watching probably aren't very familiar with folks from the UK and UK terminology and phrasing and things like that. But we're stuck in a lot of like 90s UK pop culture. So the first question, this definitely from Haley, is which is the most popular Spice Girl?
I have no idea.
I'm glad you answered that way.
The only one we still hear about is Posh Spice.
Yeah.
I think the others have, secluded themselves in less or more obscurity.
Yeah. Thank you for being a good sport answering that. So a lot of people I know care about this. Shockingly, in the United States, as many people cared about this as they did. It was the royal family wedding, Kate wedding. What was your kind of experience with that? Did you actually do anything for that, or what was the experience for you during that?
To be honest, it's interesting because there's a lot of things that go on at a very local level. So I mean, I've mentioned before the village I come from is very small, but even they had a sort of big marquee out and some stuff out. So we basically just went and sat out in the field in the sunshine, had some drinks, and a nice relaxed day, and kids were running around. So
that was just a nice day, a good excuse for an event to go out and have a nice day.
Yeah.
So someone else, just before we started the interview, had a good question about. I guess betting is really popular. Is that true? Like betting on things?
It can be.
It can be. Hers was, what is the queen going to wear? What color is she going to wear? Is there anything like that you're aware that's like kind of an odd betting thing?
And there are some that are really quite out there.
Yeah.
Most of the betting that happens is on sports.
Okay.
So, what's going to happen in the Premier League, that sort of thing. And certainly if you're watching TV at about 10 p.m. in the UK, you're going to think that we're just a nation of completely addicted gamblers. We're not entirely. And there are some interesting bets. I mean, there are some very common ones as well, like, is it going to be a white Christmas this year? Which we define as at least one snowflake falling on the headquarters of the Met Office in London.
Nice. At least one snowflake. I like that.
Yeah, white Christmas.
So here's my questions. I went and I pulled some UK kind of nomenclature, phrases, sayings that you would say. And I'm curious, first of all, if you recognize them, just because it's from a website, they could be completely made up. And if you do recognize them, if you could share what they mean, because they're very foreign to us here.
Yep.
All right, so here's the first one. It's bite your arm off.
That's, you would say, say you were offering me something very attractive, I'd say, I'd bite your arm off for that.
Okay.
That's
that fits
something
with it.
you'd get to.
My definition I found was overly excited to get something. So yeah. How about this one? Cobblers.
That's rubbish.
Rubbish. Okay. Yeah. We actually have this phrase, but I think it's used a little differently. Full of beans.
Oh, that means lots of energy.
Yeah, that's exactly what my definition.
And there's the burn off some beans as well. So if you're going to take take the kids out to run around so that they go to sleep on time. They're burning off.
Oh, that makes sense now that I know the other one. So I hear some people say full of beans for us, like you're lying. You're full of beans, like you're kind of lying to us.
No, that's crazy.
So I saw this one. I don't even know how to say this, but it's just two letters. It's ta?
Yep, ta. Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, ta.
Yep.
Ta, okay. And then this one's probably one that a lot of people have heard, but have maybe no idea what it actually means. Bob's your uncle.
Oh, that means that you've come to a conclusion that's nice. So,
okay.
I might say, for example, write some software, sell it to some people, and Bob's your uncle.
Nice. Nice. I'm going to somehow work that into my normal link. Do you actually say these on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Cobblers is less common.
Okay.
We're a bit ruder, actually, in the UK, but...
There was a lot of them that I couldn't probably make you say what the answer to is. I was like, I can't have Matt actually answer that. Is there any other ones, like kind of safe for work ones that you can think of that might, Americans might think are odd?
I mean, there are a lot of things like this week. I always come to the UK with some things that are American, having been here. And whenever I come here, I bring some British things to treat the team to.
Yeah.
And this week it's been all about biscuits.
Biscuits.
So biscuits for us are small, round, hard cookies that usually have chocolate on. And biscuits for you are sort of muffiny.
Like a dry,
So it's interesting.
Can I give you one to take home?
Go on then.
All right. So this is one that the real hipsters aren't even using anymore. So it's already not cool here. But there's a phrase called on fleek.
Okay.
On fleek is like cool. You say, oh, that's on fleek. That means whatever it is, it's cool.
Sweet.
So it's apparently the hipsters are already done with it. That's like so early 2005 or 2015. But I don't know, maybe you can start something.
So is that okay for old people like me to use?
Yeah, sure. One of our sales managers used it the other day. I was kind of shocked that he used it, but on fleek. There's some other really weird ones that the hipsters are pushing around right now. All right, so let me ask you this. So a lot of people are curious about what it's like to work here. You're on the software side, so you have a bit of a different experience than I do, and you're remote. But what's some of your favorite parts about working at Pragmatic Works? The money.
It's the community feel.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that's particularly good for me is, every Christmas there's some sort of good cause that we give to as a company, and the generosity from all the people around is just astounding. It's great. And I really enjoy coming out to the States to do these weeks because you get to talk to people and you're not having a conversation where you're trying to accomplish a task and then click hang up.
Yeah.
You get to connect with the people, and we just have a really good bunch of people. And we're realistic about what we can do.
Right.
So, we don't promise the earth and then deliver a potato. We just, we do what we think we can do reasonably, quickly, effectively, and well. And I think we are taking that sort of attitude from our, 5 culture characteristics and starting to deliver that through our products and our output, and that's really positive.
That's great. Yeah, John talked a lot about that more iterative approach to development. Really, that can apply for not only product development with our dev team, but from our consulting team as well. And I like, that you integrated in the 5 characteristics of our company. You can actually look on our website to learn a little bit about more of our company culture tenets. You also mentioned, too, some of the giving that we do back, and oftentimes around Christmas time and other times of the year. If you guys aren't familiar, they're actually local to our Jacksonville office, or Clay County office, actually, called Seamark Ranch. And in the past, we've donated to them. They're kind of a home that brings in children that frankly need a family, need a home, and so they have school and they have a house to live in all there. And so we actually donate to them quite often. So. We love doing things like that. We'll continue to do things like that, of course. And Matt, thank you for doing this today. It actually was pretty fun, very interesting. I've learned some new stuff as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to our next interview. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.